It's the end of another year. Joy, hope, plans for the future. And just like most of your apps decide to show you a retrospective of your year, your brain does too. Usually at 3 a.m. After searching the depths of this peanut-sized conglomerate of grey matter for a way to put this into words without sounding crazy, I thought, well, this could be a video. So this is it. A video about adulthood, life milestones, and realizing you've changed. Do you know when you have an existential crisis that makes you stop and rethink your whole life? When I have one, it usually ends in one of two ways. Either my brain wakes up from a long slumber just to replay 5 minutes of a year's worth of memories, which might explain why I can't even remember what I had for lunch, or it doesn't boot up at all. It's hard to think with just 2 neurons, okay? So yeah, I recently had one of those moments. You could say an existential crisis is a milestone in itself because it shows how much you've changed, progressed, and evolved. Sometimes it's about you and what you've been through, and sometimes it's about the people around you. But there's one particular, permissive, and very peculiar milestone, one that signals both an ending and a beginning. Adulthood. Yeah, there's nothing quite like receiving your first bill personally delivered by the mailman. You feel very important, you know? Or getting a credit card with your name on it, even if the limit is just $10, or wanting to smash your phone with a sledgehammer every time he wakes you up because, well, work. If you're like me, you might have entered adulthood so smoothly that you didn't even notice it. But some people start with the smoothness of riding a sports bike on a cobblestone street. You know, the ones with those narrow seats that practically split you in half. Anyway, suddenly you feel nostalgic about childhood moments you know you had. Like those times my parents took me to the supermarket and I'd ask for a snack I already knew they wouldn't buy, but I still asked anyway. Back then, Perseverance wasn't just the name of a space probe. Or those moments playing phone games at school. Oh man, those were good days. FNAF 1 and 2, because those were the only ones back then, that Trigger 1 and 2, and Minecraft Pocket Edition. Back when worlds were limited by chunks and you'd eventually hit an invisible wall, and redstone wasn't even a thing. And of course, a bunch of other questionable, graphically simple games you could find at the App Store. They ran at 2 frames per second on my phone, but still made my day. I had a Samsung Galaxy Pocket back then, alright? Look it up! You won't find a phone the size of a wallet that also doubles as a pocket heater. Then, after elementary school memories, came high school. Your early or late teens are usually when you start building your identity, forming a more meaningful circle of friends. But to do that, you need a very important skill. Socializing. And I was the quiet kid. Like, really quiet. The kind who, after an entire week of classes, had talked to maybe 3 people out of 40, and those were just the ones sitting next to me. It took me 3 months just to learn the names of 7 or 8 people. But honestly, those were good times. I still remember something called the Hour of Joy. And no, not the one from Poppy Playtime. The Hour of Joy was special. Sometimes the cafeteria aunties would have to open a pristine metal can of strawberry jelly. About 1 kilo of pure happiness, just to use a small portion. By protocol, they couldn't store open cans, so they'd give us spoons, the heavy can, and a mission. We knew what we had to do. That, my friends, was the Hour of Joy. Then one day, you realize you've entered college, then you graduate, and boom, your first job knocks on the door. Or more realistically, you knock on the door. And I guess it's healthy to stop every once in a while and think about how much things have changed and how we can keep improving. Maybe adulthood isn't when life changes. Maybe it's when you finally notice that it already did. And that's alright. When a game's next stage is easy, it means you are prepared. And when it's hard, it means you're evolving as you fight. Except for Dark Souls, that thing is just a physical manifestation of suffering with absolutely no room for peace or preparation. But yeah, this was just me sharing some thoughts and a bit of hope for the future. Let's brace ourselves for 2026, because it's going to be one hell of a year. I just hope, not literally.